Hi, my name is Angela from Stacy's.
And I am Laura, otherwise known around town as the Stacy's Girls.
Yes, and today we are really excited to share with you what we do at Stacy's Nursery during Christmas time. So most of you know us as the garden center in town, or maybe we do your spring pots, your summer pots. We want to show you what we do in the winter. So we're not just sitting on our high knees eating bonbons, we're actually doing pots. And we have a lot of fun doing it. It's one of our favorite times of year because we just really enjoy beautifying your home during the winter when it's kind of ugly and dreary outside. So Laura is going to demonstrate kind of what we do with pots, and while she does that, I want to discuss some of the material we use. So Laura is our pro here at pots, only because I taught her everything I know, so now she's super good at it. Anyways, she is working with, currently right now, tree tops. And tree tops are kind of an interesting industry. We actually hire people up in the woods to cut these. They are grown in Minnesota. We don't purchase any outside of Minnesota. So you'll notice they are around town. Some other places carry them, but most of those come from Canada. They're dry, they lose their needles, they cut them way too early. So ours are cut 3 to 4 days before we get them. So we pick them up, like on a Monday they were cutting over the weekend. So they're very fresh, and these are some of the tree tops we use. We carry them in bundles of 10 here at the nursery. And you don't always have to use tree tops in your pots, but you'll notice that they help with a very full effect and creating kind of the fun little tree top look. So Laura's shoving those in. We use dirt, so just your regular potting soil, as you can see, which is in the pot. We tend to overstuff our pots.
More is better.
More is better. Fullness is really pretty. The Norway pine is again grown up in the Chippewa National Forest. Stacy and his wife are in their retirement stages, and they are cutting this for us at a very high price. So we are negotiating prices. What we like to do with the Norway is put it around the base of the pot. It kind of hides your transition between, you know, your pot and your tree tops. So we try to kind of have it flow down a little more by kind of manipulating it and bending it in certain ways. Again, we carry this in a bundle here at the store, and we can kind of show you how to, you know, bend it down and break it apart. The neat thing about Norway is it's just a soft, long needle pine, so it adds kind of another texture to the pot. Another green that she likes to use is cedar. Cedar comes in a lot of different forms, so we carry 3 to 4 different cedars depending on the season. This time of year we use a lot of this one that's kind of fun. It is called variegated cedar. You can see it has kind of a limey green tip to it. And it just kind of adds another texture, and again that limey green look, which is maybe a little more contemporary if you're trying to go for that look. The one thing with cedar that we do notice is if you are in a full sun location, we would advise you to not use that because it can brown a little quicker than some of your other stuff. Or you could use it for the first month and just pull it out as it gets brown, and then you'd have the rest of your container to enjoy throughout the season. So the dogwood here, which I'm guessing everybody knows, red twig dogwood. Just come on in, and we have it in bundles, 10 in a bundle. And right now what she's doing is actually taking the whole bundle and shoving it into one location. Usually people will spread it out and put them kind of all over, and you can do that as well. But we're seeing this kind of as a trend this year to have just one big chunk of that red dogwood in the center or off to the side of the pot. The sticks are kind of fun because they add a lot of texture. So she's going to use a lot of sticks in this design, where we're doing the dogwood as I mentioned, and then we're doing the birch. So the birch, again, most of you are familiar with that. Something some of you can find out in your yard, which is totally fine, or again, we have it here at Stacy's. And just having a lot of upright textures in the pot is kind of a fun look. Is a curly willow stick, and these we actually do get in. So this would be one of the things that is not grown in Minnesota, but it just adds another really kind of fun color. People love the orangey flareness of it. It's also very natural in its shape that it just kind of curls all over the place. So we utilize this quite a bit, adding more of that vertical height, which is kind of fun. It's a little crazy, adds kind of a nice color. All right, so even though we all love the Minnesota snow, we all truly want to be in the south, and this is where the magnolia comes from. So we order this in, so that there's a product that we don't get from Minnesota as well, but it's really pretty. The thing with the magnolia is it adds kind of a brown texture on the back, a soft look, and then also the green tips. It does get a little hard as the freezing temperatures come to Minnesota, but if you don't touch it, it won't fall apart. So just let it be, don't touch it. The pot that Laura's using too, I'll point out, these are our barn pots, and we have them in the natural tan and then also red. They're beautiful for Christmas time, and the really nice convenient part about it, I'm just gonna pick this up, is that they come with liners. So you can purchase your pot, and if you don't wanna do this arrangement yourself, just bring that pot whack back, and we'll just plop it in for you. So it kind of works nice for people who have to travel. The product Laura is using right now is called Seeded Eucalyptus. So this is something you've noticed her posting a lot in wedding videos. She uses it a lot in garlands and wreaths and weddings. So she must have a little love relationship with it, because now we're using it a lot at Christmas time.
Well, you know, Joanna Gaines.
Joanna Gaines. Okay, so now we know why.
She likes Magnolia.
Well, hopefully she likes us.
I want to be her.
The neat thing about the Seeded Eucalyptus too is it does come in a burgundy color that we'll have throughout the season. And this does work well indoors and outdoors. So it's kind of a fun filler for a lot of different times of the year. And then Christmas isn't Christmas without a little red berry. Now this time of year, some people will just do this until maybe after Thanksgiving, and then they'll pop their berries in for the Christmas season. So this can be very trans-seasonal, and then adding your berries right after Thanksgiving for that pop of red that will last into the Christmas season. Laura has a fan of buying one chunk of berry, so she's purchasing this berry, which has a lot of stems, and what she likes to do is then rip it apart so that she can utilize it throughout the whole pot. It kind of helps keep your costs down. The berries that we do carry are winter outdoor waterproof, so they will last from year to year. Usually about 2 years, 2 to 3 years you'll get out of them. So they're not just a cheap berry that'll fall apart. And you can see she's utilized not even the whole thing. So sometimes you can buy one for 2 pots. So we've got, this is also the juniper berry. That's grown here in Minnesota. Stacy goes and harvests that for us as well. It's kind of a fun, different color. The one thing with it, it can be a little smelly, so I wouldn't recommend using it indoors, but it is really pretty to add in the pots and utilize outdoors. Well, this is a boxwood, a variegated boxwood. And again, adding that lime green texture, which is just really pretty into your pot.
And it lasts too. I mean, it does, once it gets like super duper cold, you notice some rounding, but that's not till like February in there.
So that's a good point Laura's making, is that these pots last well into the winter months. Like most people will have these till March, which is really nice because if you can do it before Thanksgiving and then have it all the way till March, your investment is pretty small because you're having it on your front step for 4 to 6 months. And it's just really adding a nice, beautiful decor to your front step.
And no watering required.
No watering required. So for people like my age who has no time to water a plant at the end of the day, because I'm working and I'm a mom and I don't want to deal with that, this does not need any care. So the ladies who come into us in the spring and say, I kill everything, this is for you. You can do this because you don't have to keep it alive. Now she's adding the giant pine cones. These are called sugar cones. And you can see you just kind of shove it right in there and it just adds kind of another texture along with everything else. So one of the next things she's going to use is called Carolina Sapphire. And that is just kind of a sagey blue color, which is really fun to add to the pots. Laura has a bigger go home motto here, so you can see she's going to really make it nice and big today for you guys. Voila! Voila! So we did mention the no watering. Sometimes we recommend just one good water when you get it home to freeze it in place. It's not necessarily going to help it last, but sometimes if you have a really windy stoop, some things can blow out. So if you water it well and it just freezes, then you're kind of good to go all season long.